about today is work. So I've tried really everything I can think of to minimize the pain that I feel every day and maximize the pleasure and satisfaction that I get out of life. I've tried hanging out with every type of social group, I've tried every type of sport, creative outlet, I've tried computer games, I've tried partying, money, girls, that sort of stuff. I've tried healthy lifestyles like walking, meditating, yoga, living in the moment. And the one thing that I can really find that is a consistent that gives me a lot of pleasure and satisfaction is work. Now, when I say I've tried these things, I mean I've really tried these things for at least a couple of months, so I can really internalize different types of lifestyles, understand why people might have certain types of behaviors, and also work out what's the best for me and what I can benefit from all these different things that there is to do in the world. So with work, there's three main things that I find that is really good for me in terms of my mindset and just my general well-being. Most of the things I do really is for just my mental health and my pleasure and satisfaction out of life. Now, the first thing I think would be the mindset that you just get on a day-to-day basis. The second would be the trust that something good is going to happen in the future. And the third would be the pleasure that you feel and just relaxation when you're not working, and the fact that you can love your family and friends more and relax. Now, with your mindset, I remember a time in my past when I was just in such a dark place and I was having such an existential crisis that all I could think about was death, how scary it's going to be if you don't wake up tomorrow, for example. And I was having all these thoughts, and I just remember going to the basketball stadium and just thinking, if I could just have 10 seconds where I could just focus on basketball and not have this thought pattern, and maybe if I could just escape this hell that I'm living in for at least 10 seconds, that would be a successful day for me. Now, when I'm working, I kind of find my mind drifts a lot to work and all the tasks that I have to do, which can kind of maybe not be beneficial to some people, but for me, that's really healthy to just have that thought pattern and those mental dialogues of all the things that I have to do rather than some of the depressing stuff that I've been through in the past. So that would be the first benefit for me when I'm working a lot. Now, the second benefit would be the trust that something good is going to happen in the future. Now, when I'm working a lot, not only can I get that mindset of just thinking of all the tasks that I have to do, I also get this trust that something good is going to happen in the future. If I'm not working, if something bad happens to me, I get really soft and maybe I just think about it a lot. And even a tiny little negative thing can really kind of upset me if I'm on holiday, for example. When I'm working, even if I'm having a rough day, I can always trust that something good is going to happen in the future, because you're working, you're elevating your status, you're improving yourself, you're getting smarter, and even if things aren't clicking straight away, eventually something will click and you'll realize that maybe you've accomplished something that you didn't think you would, and something will just go swimmingly. I believe that there's a karmic equivalent to everything that you do, and if you work really hard for other people all the time, eventually it's going to come full circle and people are going to work really hard for you. Now, the third benefit I mentioned was the fact that when I'm not working, I can just relax way more than if I'm just not working all the time. So if I'm working really hard and I know that I've put in a productive day or a productive week, when I'm not working, I just have this complete relaxation where I just feel completely drained out, worn out, and my energy's depleted, and I can just enjoy myself way more. Even just watching TV or sitting on the couch, I can really just enjoy myself way more after I've worked, where I know I've done something that's moving slightly towards my dreams than if I'm just not working all the time. So the other thing with work is, I believe that it's good probably to work harder, not smarter. When I was younger, I thought I could work smarter, not harder, and if I was getting paid by the hour, for example, I used to stack shelves. If I could just cut a tiny little bit of corners every now and then, and maybe not put in a maximum amount of effort because I'm getting paid by the hour anyway, why would I? Then that would be the smart thing to do. Now, after a while, I realized that if I work harder and not smarter, that actually opens up more opportunities for me. I got those three benefits that I mentioned earlier, and I learn more as well, because life's really about the lessons that you learn while you're here on this planet, not about the stuff that you get and the money that you attain. So the last thing I wanted to mention with work is the fact that knowledge work, creative work, and intellectual work is the real ultimate type of work that you can engage in. Now, it's really easy to be told what to do and maybe go do this task, go do this, do this assignment, go pick up that box, whatever it is. That's not the real work, because someone else has to think of it and then tell you to do it. The real work is having that creative and intellectual ability to help people where they didn't even know that they needed help, or maybe that they weren't expecting it, and having that ability to set tasks and maybe be a leader in your field or just in your little workspace or whatever it is. So obtain this skill of creative work and intellectual work. The one thing that I would just add into my daily habits would just be lying under a tree or something for 10 minutes a day. And I found that I believe that I already have all the answers. I just need to go inside myself to find them a lot of the time. You can understand things about your childhood and maybe your skill set that you can use to help other people and tell stories, and those things will give you the ability to be a knowledge worker or a creative intellectual worker rather than just someone who's just being told what to do, because that's the easy stuff. Now, if you think about these benefits that you get, working harder, not smarter, and also being an intellectual creative worker, if you realize all of these things will help you learn more about yourself and about life, and it will also help other people because you're working hard and you're making better experiences for other people. I really encourage you to work hard, try your best, spaz out, don't let anybody tell you what to do, and I hope you guys get some sort of value from this video. I'll catch you guys next time.